I'm going to send you 4 of these. That's 8 batteries, 3-cell batteries in series, making 1 6-cell. You're going to be running hence then on 2 6-cells in parallel. You'll notice that I've put some tape on each little bundle. Don't ever separate these batteries, and you'll notice I've written some numbers on them as well. What I've done is I've actually matched your batteries. How does that work? Well, some batteries for some reason give you X amount of power and others give you something else. So what I've done is, through testing them extensively, I've tried to match them as closely as possible. In other words, if this battery here lasted for 7 minutes and this one lasted here for 6.5, they were pretty close, and I matched them together. And if this one here lasted for, let's say, 7.5 and this one 8, I matched them together to give you the best possible flight time per battery pack. So keep them together. They've been matched. Microphone. All right. You'll notice some sticky marks on it. Not to worry about that. When I was testing the batteries, I just had these small FPV ones mounted on here with some duct tape, so I had some sticky marks. But don't worry about that. As you can see, the batteries have been matched. What you're going to do to mount them is basically put them on like this, in that position, as close to the leg pushed back as possible on either side. Just, you need to mount some wires. Okay, what you can do before you mount the batteries is take this Velcro strap, put it around you, and the reason for that is when you put through the cable tie and you pull it tight, it will protect the battery from getting indented rather badly. So that's really what that's for. So what I'm going to do is to show you here. Take it, put a Velcro strap on, mount the battery over here, and just before you do that, you can put this through there, like that. Pop on your battery, push it as close as you can to this leg, and pop on your Velcro, your cable tie across the Velcro strap, and make sure that that's tight. It doesn't have to be like badly tight, but just firm enough so that this isn't going to wiggle around or move center of gravity. So that's really how you mount each battery. Once you've done it to both sides, mounting 1 or 2 wires, we can't do anything about at this point. Always keep in mind that at this point in time, your quad is laying on its head and your GPS is pretty much about 5 mils off the table. So whenever you move this around, just make sure you don't damage that. Once you've mounted both batteries, you're going to use these 2. These are cables that make the single batteries into series. You're going to pop them on first, on either side. And here is a parallel cable, which you're then going to pop onto there. And the parallel cable will ultimately, when you're ready to fly, plug into the actual Hexa's power cable. And that's how you will be powering your Hexa. Once you've mounted your power cables, when you're ready to fly, you're going to use these little things. These are called voltage meters or voltage alarms. At the back you can see it can take anything from a 1 to an 8 cell, and you can also see the polarity. When you plug them in, negative must always be towards negative, which is the black cable. So when you plug the black cable in, you'll notice it makes a loud little screaming noise. It's picked up 3 cells. It says total is 12.5, first cell 14.1, second cell 14.15, and second cell 14.2. Pretty close, and you're going to do that for every single one. And you're going to leave these on while you're flying. What you'll notice is got a little button on the top here. If you click it once, you see I've set it to 3.6. If you click it again, and again, it'll just go up to 3.7, 3.8, and then off. And it starts off at 2.7. Just put it back to 3.6. 3.6 is the level where your batteries are about 25 to 30% power left. Once it reaches 3.6, as you heard in one of the videos, it starts to beep. When it starts to beep, your first battery starts to beep, and it'll be one of the 4. You know that you got about 1.5 to 2 minutes to be safely on the ground. I'll give you the timings in another video. But once you hear the thing start beeping, don't panic. Take a deep breath, return to where you took off and land safely. But you've got about 2 minutes to do that. After that, you're going to start losing power quite rapidly, and you could have a crash. The benefit of having 2 batteries in parallel is that if you should have one failure on one of the batteries, number one, you're not going to damage both backs. Number two, if the one battery does fail or both fail on the one side, you still got a second battery that's going to keep you flying. It won't cut power to the motors. Hence, I'm using the reason I suggested a hex. If you have a motor failure, you'll also be able to land. May lose a bit of yawing or yawing, however it's pronounced, but that's the reason why. So the minute you start getting one of these, land as soon as possible.